Hey guys, it's Brittany. So, today's going to be a different kind of video. It's going to be a little bit more personal video, and it is 5 things you may not know about me. So, one I will start with is that I am stubborn, but in a good way because, well, I've always been that way. And I do think there are some people out there where they are stubborn, and maybe there's just some where they're not. And I think for those who are, I think it depends whether if it's either a good thing or not, and depends just, I think, the kind of stubbornness that they have, and I think it just depends really. But with me, it's more like it could be in different ways. Like, one, I'm stubborn in a way where if I'm determined to do something, I will do it. And believe me, so that's a good thing. Like, okay, if I have my mind set on something and I know that I'm going to do it and I say I'm gonna do it, I will. And I would say this, I know there's times where, and if I say it, but then sometimes it doesn't happen. It's like either for other reasons that might come up. Oh, still throat. My throat's still dry. I'm so sorry. But other times, when I do have my mind set on something, I'm like, no, I am going to do it regardless, like, no matter what day it is, no matter if, like, even if I don't do this during the day, and if I have to do it at night, I will. I'm so sorry. I should try to get some water before I speak, before I say anything else. But sometimes I can also be stubborn in a way where, like, let's say if someone had told me something. Okay, let's say for instance, if someone had told me, like, I don't think that you should do this, but I think you should do this instead. And instead of them, like, making it sound like a suggestion, like, because to me a suggestion would be more like, well, if you want to do this, you could, but if you don't, that's okay. And if you want to do something else, then that's okay too. And of course I would take that because I'm okay with suggestions like that. But if they suggest it to me in a way where it sounds like, well, I think you should do this and not do that, then yeah, it does not sound like a suggestion. And then when I hear something like that, I'm like, no. Unless if I'm not even comfortable with it, then it's like, no. And so I'll actually do the opposite. So it's kind of like if someone said, okay, do this, but I don't think you should do that. I'll actually do the opposite. I'll be like, well, actually, I don't quite feel comfortable with that because this is something I do want to do. So I'll actually do the opposite, where it's like, no, I'm gonna do this anyway, and I do. And I think that's a good thing too, to be stubborn in that way, because it's like, well, if I'm not comfortable with something that I don't want to do, then I don't have to do it. And if there's something I do want to do because not only I'm comfortable with it, but something that I just would want to do, then I want to, and then that's fine. So yeah, I'm stubborn in those ways. So just so you know. And two, if I don't have if I don't have caffeine right away, I get cranky easily. And when I mean cranky, I don't mean like I'm gonna get upset with you if you try to talk to me about something, nothing like that. Because I know there are some people who are like that, where if they don't eat, if they don't have caffeine, something to drink, and all of a sudden they get so cranky and they'll get upset so easily and they'll kind of snap at the other person. But I'm not like that. I Okay, so let's say if I hadn't had coffee, if I hadn't had my caffeine, and if I hadn't, and if someone's talking to me, I'll be cranky not having caffeine, but I won't be cranky towards that person. So if they're talking to me about something, of course I will listen, and if they see the look on my face, and if they're like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, like, I hear what you're saying, but, oh, like, right now, I'm just cranky, and my head hurts, because I hadn't had my coffee." And of course, I'll just talk to them in a calm way, but I will never like just get upset with someone so easily just because I'm in a cranky mood and I'm gonna take out that frustration out on them for no reason. I don't do that. I just don't. But if I take out my frustration out on, like, not on a person, but let's say a thing, like, let's say maybe on my TV remote, or maybe on my phone. Well, on my phone, like I said, if I'm talking to it and I'm like, okay, come on, like, I'm waiting. So it's like if I'm playing a game or something, or if there's no internet connection, then yeah. And the third thing would be, um, okay, and so the third thing would be, and I think you guys notice this, is that I am an emotional person. I am sensitive. So for those who may or may not know, but yes, I am, because I think for those who see when I talk about certain things, that you'll see just how I feel about it, whether if I feel scared, if it's about my fear, my phobias, or if I might feel sad about it, or angry or excited, depending what it is that I'm talking about in that video. And even in a reaction video, like, you'll see like how my reactions change quickly from the emotions that I'm feeling. So if I see something that's scary, I'm gonna feel scared. And if I see something that's if I see something that I'm just gonna feel so excited about, then you're gonna see that, which is why my uh, expressions change, because of the emotions that I'm feeling within the moment of what it is that I'm reacting to. And so yeah, it's like that with anything, like like, even that's something that's really going on, I really feel what is that I feel towards, or a situation, or towards what something had happened, whether if it was something bad or something good. And same thing same thing when it comes to a movie or a TV show. Like, if I'm watching a particular TV show or a movie, and depending what's going on, my emotions are always going to be different from the next. Because if I see something that's really heartbreaking, my eyes are gonna be filled with tears, and those tears will eventually fall. And when they do, I'm gonna be so, so sad. And if I see something that makes me angry, I'm gonna feel angry. If I see something that's terrifying, I'm gonna feel terrified. And depends how terrified I am, whether if I'm gonna either jump, gasp, or scream, So it all depends just how terrified I am, and depends even when I get chills everywhere, you know. And if I see something happy, I'm gonna smile. If I see something funny and it makes me laugh, I'm gonna laugh. You know, and so I'm just like that, where I'm in tune with the story, and I'm very in tune with my emotions. So whatever it is that I'm watching, and whatever it is that's happening at the moment that makes you feel those emotions, then I'm gonna feel that certain emotion depending what it is that I'm watching, and depends what it is of what that movie or the show is presenting itself at that moment within that scene. And depends what I'm gonna feel towards that particular scene within the moment, you know, and to feel that emotion towards it, you know. So it all depends. Yes, I'm very sensitive, and yes, I gotta say, my feelings do get hurt easily. So sometimes, if someone does say something, I will get hurt easily. But let's say if someone didn't meant it in a way to hurt me, but they meant it having good intentions, it's like, oh, okay, like I'm sorry if I had took it that way, but okay, I see what you mean. But if someone has said something mean purposely, and they had said it to intentionally hurt me, then yeah, that will just upset me more. It's like, okay, you know what? Okay, that's not nice. And you know what? I wish you hadn't said that, because now, because you said that, I am not gonna forget you said that, because it's gonna repeat in my head over and over again. So that's another thing too, that sometimes when I see something that comes across hurtful, and if I read it again, sometimes, yeah, that happens, where that the person's words, hurtful words, can get stuck in my head, and it'll just be repeating itself on a loop in my head practically all day, all night, and then I'm gonna be feeling hurt, like not just hurt, but also like feeling angry, and just like, oh, I can't believe it, like, why this person said this, and now I can't forget what they said, and it's just repeating itself like a broken record. And like, oh, I wish I could just forget it, because I don't want to remember. I don't want to be feeling angry, or I don't want to be feeling hurt right now. Like, you know what? I just rather do something else, take my mind off it, and pretend that none of it happened, and that what they said, you know, was never said. So yeah, I'm like that too. But yes, I'm yeah, like I said, I'm very in tune with my emotions, with everything, with what's going on around me, and with what it is that I'm watching on TV, whether it's a TV show or a movie or even a song, that too. So yes, I'm very much in tune with my emotions, and I'm in tune with a spiritual realm. So that's the third thing. And four, um, oh yeah, I think the fourth thing you guys may or may not know is that a long time ago, my family and I used to live in a old haunted house. When I was growing up, when I was quite little, and there were some paranormal experiences going on, and each one was scary. Now, I will say I actually did had a paranormal experience, but it happened when I was so young that I actually don't remember it, but I would have to share that in another video. But yes, and honestly, and I gotta say, I'm not fond of my childhood um, house growing up. Not just because it was haunted and because, this very dark, glooming, eerie feeling, that I was being watched, spiritually, almost like someone's watching me, but not in a way of like protection, but in a way of almost like when someone's stalking you and watching your every move, kind of like that, but spiritually. So yeah, that was very unsettling. But I gotta say, in that house, I never had a dream. Now, I had nightmares, like I had night terrors when I was quite young, from 2 to 4 years old, but I don't remember. But I remember as I got a little older, I gotta say maybe 6, 7, 8, around there, that I wasn't having dreams, not even nightmares, but I think the only reoccurring dreams I was having in that house was where I was always in the dark. Like, so I would be surrounded nothing but darkness. And I'm like running, but when I'm running, it doesn't feel like I'm running fast. It feels like I'm running in slow motion. And I'm looking around, trying to look for a light, trying to look for something or someone, to feel safe, to feel comforted. But nothing and no one has showed up in those dreams, in those reoccurring darkness dreams that, um, yeah, I never felt safe. And because I had that for so long, that I believe that's why I now have that phobia of the dark. So, cause yeah, even now it's like if my room was completely dark with no light, and if I had went to the kitchen, let's say to get a snack or to get something to drink, and if I came back to my room and if it was completely dark with no lamp on or the TV on and it's just complete darkness with no light at all, yeah, I get terrified. I get terrified because I instantly get this feeling that something spiritually is in there just watching me within the darkness, and it's just watching me, my every move. And in my mind I'm thinking it's probably gonna do something to show itself, or maybe to do or say something to, of course, to scare me, to completely terrify me. And so yeah, that's why I have that fear of the dark, because of those reoccurring nightmares of being in the darkness, just surrounded by it. And it was every night. I had those recurring nightmares being surrounded in the darkness every night up until me and my family moved. So when we did move, that just stopped completely. And you know what? I'm glad, because it wasn't until when we moved, because first we moved to Anza for a short time and stayed there, but then we moved to Temecula. But when we did move to Temecula and settled there and stayed there for at least 7 years, I had nothing but good dreams. And of course I did have nightmares too, but those nightmares were about, well, spiders. But other times I had good dreams. I had good dreams that I've never had before, and each good dream was just so different, than the other. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Oh, and that's another thing too. So the fifth thing you may not know about me by now, in case you haven't already, is that the dreams that I have at night, they aren't just dreams where where I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I know it's a dream. It doesn't feel real, so yeah, I know I'm asleep. No, I get these dreams where I don't even know that I'm asleep. I don't even know that I'm dreaming. So whatever it is that I'm dreaming, it feels so real. It feels real where like let's say if someone put a hand on my shoulder, I would feel that hand physically in my dream. Like I would actually feel their shoulder. No, feel their feel their hand on my shoulder. Or if I were to, like, let's say if I were to pick up a cupcake and take a bite, I would actually really taste the texture of the cake and frosting and the flavor. So my dreams are very vivid. They're very realistic in every way, where I can actually feel like physical touch, where I could actually um, taste like the texture and the flavor of food, even to actually um, drink something and to taste what it is that I'm drinking, if it's coffee, soda, or something. And here's another thing too, that sometimes I can go use the bathroom in my dream, but of course in my sleep I'm fine, you know. And so yeah, in my dreams I can do anything. um and yeah, it just feels real. And so yeah, it's like if I do something, it feels real. Or if something happens directly to me, it feels real. And so the moment it feels real, I'm not aware that I'm asleep. I'm not aware that I'm dreaming. And I gotta say this, for those who do know they're asleep and they're dreaming, I don't know how they know, but somehow they do know. But as for me, I don't. I never know that I'm asleep. I never know that I'm dreaming because it feels real. And I gotta say, when I have those good dreams, like depending what's going on and depending how happy or excited that I feel in the dream, depending on the good dream that's going on. And if I feel so happy and excited with that moment, I'm thinking, okay, like, oh my gosh, like this is really happening. And then, of course, by the time the dream is over, and then when I wake up from the dream, I'm like, whoa, wait, like, okay, wait a minute. This happened. And I thought this was real because it felt real. And now it was a dream. So yes, I gotta say, sometimes I catch myself in surprise when I come to realize that the good dream that I was having was in fact not really happening, because it was a dream, this very vivid, realistic dream where everything feels real. And once I wake up, I'm like, okay, I didn't know that I was dreaming, but man, that was a good dream. You know? And yeah, I gotta say this, I have been having good dreams lately. I have. Oh, that's another thing. I gotta share my dreams. Because yeah, I miss that. I miss sharing my dreams. So yeah, I will do that. And I gotta say this. So yeah, I gotta say real quick. So yeah, those are the 5 things about me, in case you haven't known, but you do know now. And so I gotta say this before I end it here, is that um, so far, yes, now I'm on my third rewatch on Supernatural, and I just love that show. And I'm thinking of doing um, a live stream on it. And I gotta say this, that from now on, when I do my live streams, it won't be on my laptop here because it seems to break like it seems like when I have live streams on my laptop, it seems like almost like if I'm hiccuping and you can't quite hear what I'm saying, and it kind of cuts my words off. So I think from now on, I would have to do my live streams on my phone and see if that might do better, which I hope so. I really do. But I gotta say that because I'm on my third rewatch on Supernatural, then yes, I'm thinking of doing a live stream to talk about it. And here's the thing, so right now I'm currently on um, season 13, so we're getting close to, well, I'm getting close to season 15, but once it gets close to that, um, oh gosh, it's just gonna, I'm gonna be in tears. And uh, for those who may not know, but which I will say just very quickly, is that I do, there's a lot of characters I love in the show, and of course there are some characters I'm not fond of, but of course I do love Sam and Dean, but I gotta say my favorite is Dean, so of course, and I gotta say, because I feel this emotional attachment to the character, and because I believed he deserved more and deserved better, and because he never got that, and because with his death, at the end of the final season, honestly, it completely broke my heart. And so I won't say a whole lot, because if I do, I'm just gonna end up in tears. But when during that part, since it was very emotional, honestly, I don't think I felt like that sad over a TV character's death. But with his, I did, only because of this um, emotional attachment that I feel towards this character. And so with him to die like that, yeah, like I said, it just broke my heart. And I had cried so hard that I couldn't stop, and it actually felt like my heart was ripped out. Um that's how sad I was, to be honest. So I know once it gets there, I'm not ready, because oh gosh, like I said, I'm just not. But yeah, for those who don't know about that, you know now. But yeah, I honestly, and that's something that bothers me, because I just wish that never happened. And because it did, it's like not only me, but for those who love the character like I do, we're all left completely heartbroken. Like, completely. Like, utterly. And yeah, I just really felt like that's something that should have never happened, but it did. So I'm like, nope, nope. So anyway, I'm gonna end it here, and hope you don't mind if it's long. But yes, those are the 5 things you know about me. In case if you have known about those things or not, but now you do. So yeah, yeah, I should probably get something to drink since my throat is dry. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. And so yes, I'm gonna be doing some 2 other ones right now, so that way you can go see that for yourself. Oh yeah, and I gotta say real quick before I go, is that my birthday is coming up in November. So it's coming up on November 13th. So yes, now I don't know what I'm gonna be doing exactly. I might do a live stream, or it might be the day before that, the day after, or I don't know. But whatever my plans are for that day, I'll let you know. So, yeah. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.